to get an extension to our hike today because we can't park where I thought we were going to be able to park. So we get an extra quarter-mile walk just to get going. Heading up to Mt Moosilauke today, where we've been before a couple of times, and taking a slightly different route. And in addition to Moosilauke, we'll be hiking over Mount Jim, Mount Blue, and the south peak of Moosilauke, which are all on assorted other lists that are out there that only crazy people like us do. So anyway, once we actually get on the trail, I'm sure there'll be more interesting things to see. This middle one's a little bouncy. Oh, we made it to Mount Jim. Either that or that's what this tree's name is, Mount Jim. Yes, as you can see, there's trees. So on its own, I would guess that not too many people would do this just to come up here for this, but it is on somebody's list, so we've done it now. I don't know, pretty tame hike so far. Longish, it's probably close to 4 miles to get to this point. And we saw one runner and her dog coming down, but that was it. So if as an alternate to Moosilauke, it is longer, but it's a little bit easier and less crowded, so it's not a bad choice. I'm sure once we get to Moosilauke, there'll be a bunch of people there. So we just came off Mount Blue, down maybe 50 feet or so, and, looking at our potential destinations here. There's several humps. I'm gonna guess that we're gonna go up that one straight ahead, and then maybe head over to that one off to the right, because we're headed for Mount Blue at some point. And then after that, we probably go back over that way. And I think Moosilauke summit is actually behind that hump, but that's all I guess. And I'm sure I won't be able to know if I was right or not, because once we get up there, it won't look anything like that. Okay, so we're on the AT here, or I think it's called the Beaver Brook Trail. You can tell it's pretty well worn, and that's where we came up. And then there's this little side trail here, which is apparently the trail to Mount Blue. At least that's where the app says it goes. I thought it was marked, but I see no markings here. So if you're ever going to decide to do Mount Blue, look for this trail. It's pretty well worn, so people have been on it, but you may want to hold off on whether you're going to do it until we get out there and see if there's any reason to be out there. Okay, welcome to the top of Mount Blue. There. Nancy's wearing blue, so that's where it got its name. Yeah, as you can see, this one not only has no view, there's no marker, so no obvious spot that it even technically is. This could be the high spot somewhere around here. And I would say it truly qualifies as a bushwhack. Although it does have a fairly well followed path. So other people have decided they need to do this for some reason. Probably the same reason I did, because somebody put it on a list somewhere. But yeah, the bushwhack thing, I'll show you. Well, here's a little bit of it. This is just a bush duck. But there's some sections where it is brush growing right across the trail and you have to push or whack your way through it. So that's where it gets the name. We've done worse. If you've watched any of our, or enough of our older videos, you've probably come across one or two of those where it's through thick stuff and there's no obvious trail. This is about as much of it as I'm interested in doing these days. Yeah, I'm probably all like 4 years older than I was back then. So I don't know. Who knows? I'm probably lying to you, and I'll show you a video at some point where I'm doing it again. Anyway, unless you're working, I believe this one I found on the Trail Rights 72 list, which was, I think it's on a couple others too. The Trail Rights 72 is 72 4,000 footers that are in New Hampshire. Slightly different criteria than the New Hampshire 48 list. So if you want to do a few more, find that list. Anyway, so from here we'll head back to the main trail and then take it up to Moosilauke, and I'll get you views of things that are actually worth doing. So I think somewhere over there is Mount Blue. You got this little view here, and then this is where we're headed. You can see a little pile of rocks on the side up there. That's what makes it worth it. Didn't see anybody next to them. Not too far. 10 minutes. All right. Not really. It's windy, so it might be tough to hear me. Where they're headed into is where we just came out of. So we got a little through line. And I think this pile of rocks and that sign might have been what we were seeing from down that way. Anyway, it doesn't matter that much, but figured I'd throw that in there. So yeah, views galore. Not quite at the top, but it's a short ways away. And we'll stop there, but it's probably going to be even windier up there, so I might not talk at all, which may be a good thing. Alright, a bunch of people there, so I figured I'd stop here. Same view from here as there is there, but so anyway. This is one of the taller ones, so almost 5,000 feet. So most of those out there are 4,000 footers. Another cairn, in case you want to hike this in the winter. off the top, heading in that direction to South Peak, which I think might be the furthest one. Could be another no view spot, but yes, it's on somebody's list, so I'm gonna do it. Let's look at bridge closure alert. Should probably actually read that. Okay, so we're on South Peak of Moosilauke. There's main Moosilauke. Finally got one of these oddball little hikes that took us to where there's actually a view. Boy, that came out weird. Maybe I'll just look, there's Nancy. Okay, there's the lodge down near the parking area, which is the reason why we couldn't park where I thought we could. They don't let you. You gotta park out of their property, but apparently they allow us to walk through it. Back at the car. So I got 11 miles and 2,800 feet. Ooh, there's cars all the way up the road. And yeah, there's explosion. My shoes are there though, so I'll put those on so I can drive. Yeah, nice portions of it. Some that I probably wouldn't bother doing again. We were talking to two guys. We crossed paths with them twice, so the second time they hiked with us for a while. Interesting. One was 70 and the other was 75. And they do this on a fairly regular basis, so I like to hear that. It gives me a few more years. Yeah, so nice day, nice views, the usual stuff. I guess what I'm gonna do is actually put the the trace that my app does. I'm gonna add that to the end of this video somewhere. Thinking I probably should have been doing that all along, but Outdoor Active is the name of the app, and if it saved us a couple of times the last couple of days where I made bad choices and was managed to get us back where we were supposed to be. So I just, if it's not that one, there's several others. I've used this for probably 10 years now. That's why I stick with it. But even the All Trails app is not bad. But if you're going to use the All Trails app, or this one for that matter, you want to do the paid version so you can download the trail. So just in case on a trail like this one where you might not have phone signal, you can actually have the trail with you and know where you are. Anyway, enough of my talking about that, and we're here for a couple more days, so there's probably a couple more videos to follow.